definitely on. I think it sounds good. I'm going to try the handheld mic now, Bryce. And this mic is great. Thanks, Bryce. Oh, it's very loud. Maybe it could be turned down just a little bit. But I think it's good. Thank you.
The Unitarian Church of Montpelier is located on Western Abenaki land, which has long served as a site of meeting and exchange amongst Indigenous peoples. We honor, recognize, and respect these peoples as the traditional stewards of the lands and waters on which we gather. In that same spirit, we will respect, protect, and be good stewards of this land for as long as we walk upon it. Good morning. I'm Dell Waterhouse. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm honored to be your worship associate this morning. On behalf of the entire worship team, I'm delighted to welcome all of you, those of you in the sanctuary, and those of you watching the live stream. Thank you for joining us in this time of worship. We deeply appreciate your presence and fellowship as part of our beloved Unitarian Church of Montpelier. For over 155 years, this church has been a sanctuary for those seeking spiritual sustenance as well as peace and justice in the world. With you, we continue today on that path. Please know that we have hearing assist devices available on the table in the rear of the sanctuary, and also know that you can listen to and watch the service in the fireplace room downstairs if you should need to leave the sanctuary for any reason. It's always a pleasure to have newcomers and guests join us for worship. If this is your first or second time visiting and you wish to do so, you're invited to stand or wave your hand so we can offer you a special welcome. Thank you. We are glad you're here. Any of you who are newcomers to our congregation and worship service are invited to fill out our welcome form available at the hospitality table in the vestry during coffee hour so that we can connect with you more fully. We'd love to have you join us for coffee hour immediately following the service to offer you a more personal welcome. And now, for a few moments, we can all join in our welcoming by turning to our neighbors in the pews and sharing a few words of greeting. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your warm greetings. You're invited to continue your conversation after the service during coffee hour downstairs. And now, let's take a deep breath. Make sure our cell phones are silenced and enter more deeply into our time of worship with the prelude. We welcome our friends from Carolyn's Angel Band, who will be sharing their singing with us today.
There We gather again in this time and in this place where all are welcome, with your weariness, with your readiness, with your heartache and your gratitude. We gather during this season of honoring the cycles of life and death, the season of the thinning of the veil, a time of remembering the continual presence in spirit and in memory of those who have gone before us. We gather here where joy meets sorrow, where we let our grief be known out in the light of day, and where we hold our tender hearts close. We gather today with memories of loved ones whose mark upon our lives cannot be erased. Their physical presence is now gone, yet their spirits and memories leave legacies to carry forward. We hold for one another this space of compassion and of acceptance for the complexities that come with the bonds of love, for the stories that form us, for all of who we are. Come, let us worship together. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join in singing our opening hymn, which is number 1002 in the Teal hymnal, Comfort Me. We'll be singing 3 verses, Comfort Me, Sing With Me, and Comfort Me. Please rise as you are able.
Let us now light the chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. This morning, we welcome Pat Karstensen to light the chalice. As she does, I invite you to light a chalice at home if you have one nearby. We light this flame, an enduring symbol of our collective commitment to lead with truth and compassion. And please now join in saying our congregational covenant, which is in your order of service. We covenant to speak honestly and listen deeply to each other and the voice within. Treat each other with compassion and honor our differences. Take responsibility for the impact our words, actions, and inactions have on each other. Support each other in times of need and of grief, and celebrate the beauty and joy in our lives. Honor the gifts of the past and be gentle with each other as we grow. Encourage each other in the brave work of creating a more beloved community and a healthy, sustainable world. And forgive each other and start again.
And before the children head off for their time together, we invite all of us to pause in recognition of the beginning of this year of lifespan spiritual exploration. It's been an unusual beginning to our church year, and so we are engaging in this time of blessing and recognition a little bit later than we might usually, but you can always begin again, can't you? And so we want to invite all of us into a time of blessing.
Maybe you're a wee one on your mother's lap, listening to hymns from the back of the sanctuary. A child about to join us for a time on the green rug in the children's chapel. A middle schooler answering big questions in your curriculum of riddle and mystery. A teen joining the high school youth group. Or maybe you're an adult who has joined a chalice circle, or perhaps you've signed up for Seasoned Souls. Spiritual exploration at UCM spans ages, generations, and time from Sunday morning and throughout the entire week.
First, we recognize all of our children and youth, and I think you're in the pews. Thank you for your questions, for your laughter, your instinct for fun, and your sense of wonder.
All of you who are family members of our children and youth, we recognize you as well because we know it is a lot of work just to get here most Sundays and to thread the learning back into your home life during the week. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your children with us.
We want to recognize all of you who have committed to volunteer with the Lifespan Spiritual Exploration Program with any age programming as a teacher, a facilitator, a member of the committee, or a coordinator. Thank you so much for your commitment to the spiritual journeys of all of our people.
If you are an adult participating in an adult spiritual exploration program, or even considering it, we recognize you and your discernment and the commitment as well. And now we invite all of us to offer a blessing for our children, youth, and adult learners and volunteers as they begin their year together. If you are a child, youth, family member of a child or youth, adult spiritual explorer, or spiritual exploration volunteer, we invite you to be blessed at this time. Let us now join in blessing. Do you want to take over? We didn't practice this. Let us now join in blessing both those present here this morning and those who are not present but also part of our community.
And if you are a child, family member, adult participating in a program, or a volunteer of any kind, I invite you to stand at this time as we share in these words of blessing. And I invite the whole congregation to share in these words of blessing. This is the beginning of a new year. We are all part of this one community, children and adults alike. With gratitude, we bless those who nurture the spirits of the youngest members of this congregation, along with those who keep us learning as adults. There's another slide. With joy, we bless the children who remind us to be present and to live into the questions. We bless the adults who crave deeper connection with themselves and with others. May you have fun, grow, and learn together. May we all be nurtured and enriched by our shared spiritual journeys. And I invite us to embody this blessing by rubbing our hands together for a few moments, and then extending your hands outward all around this room to this whole community and all of you on the live stream as well, sharing this blessing and warmth with one another. Thank you.
I think I read Joan's lines, but that's just an example of how we learn together here at UCM. So I'm glad I could be that example for you. I'm going to invite the children and youth to come with me to the green rug, and you'll join up with your teachers there, your guides, your superheroes back there. One thing I want to remind parents is please don't come pick up your children until at least 10 after. If the service goes long, we'll keep the children with us, but if it goes short, we're going to keep them until 10 after. And also afterwards, I'd like to invite the youth and children to help create treat bags for Halloween night. So if you will sing, we will go into the green rug, into the children's chapel.
We have a few announcements to share this morning. First, all are welcome to join in a welcome back potluck in the vestry beginning around 11:30 this morning, whether or not you brought a dish to share. Reconnect with old friends and make new ones. Also, there are new seasoned souls group forming. These groups are for those who consider themselves elders to share about the joys and concerns of growing older. Visit the information table in the vestry during coffee hour to learn more and sign up. And your help is needed at our Monday community lunch, now being prepared and served at Christ Church on State Street. There are roles for cooks, servers, dishwashers, and more. Read the e-news for more details. The act of giving is a spiritual practice as important as any other element in our shared time of worship. Our generosity is a form of love. Our gifts freely given help us to practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation. Each month through the UCM Community Pouch Program, we share part of our collection with an important church fund or a community organization aligned with our values. This month's Community Pouch recipient is Just Basics, a parent organization that equips programs which provide for the basic needs of people in the Montpelier area, including the Montpelier Food Pantry. Half our cash offerings will go to the Pouch recipient. The other half will directly support the mission and ministry of this congregation. If you wish to designate your entire offering to the Community Pouch, you can indicate that with a note attached to your cash or in the memo line of your check. Checks will go to the church unless designated otherwise. And you can find the offering pouches at the ends of the pews. I'm sure you've all already done that. Please pass them toward the center aisle. We are so grateful to each and every one of you for your generosity in its many forms. Your offering will now be gratefully received, and let us enjoy a musical offering.
our annual service of remembrance, we dedicate our shared time of worship to remember those family, friends, and loved ones who have gone before us. We light candles and say aloud their names, and in this simple way, we bring them and the memories we carry into the present and into the loving space of this community. And I lift up the name of UCM member Dave Grundy, who helped to conceive of this ritual. There will be 3 times during the service that we engage in a ritual of saying names and lighting candles. These times of candle lighting will be interspersed with music from the hospice choir and a few moments of silent meditation. You might feel called to say a name and light a candle early in the service, or perhaps later in the service. You're invited to listen to your own inner voice to know if and when it feels right for you to share in our ritual. And if you are joining the service by live stream, you're welcome to share names in the YouTube chat at any time. The offerings of the choir this morning include some of the songs that they sing to those who are under hospice care. And if you know of someone who might benefit from having choir members sing for them, you can contact Catherine Donis or Bob Riggin or schedule the choir through Central Vermont Home Health and Hospice. And as we begin our first round of candle lighting, I invite our worship associate, Del Waterhouse, to demonstrate the flow of our ritual by sharing the name of someone that she is remembering today and lighting a candle. And then any of you who would like to participate are invited to come forward using the aisle on the left-hand side of the sanctuary.
This is for my friend, Joe Audette.
This is for my friend Ann Metcalf.
This is for Haiti Ballantyne and Ellie Webster.
This is for a dear friend who left a while ago to be with his wife in Pennsylvania. Okay. Murray Evans. And also for Darlene Grundy.
For Art Stuckey.
This is for my dad, Martin Urquiza Muñoz, who passed away 2 months ago. My dear dad.
I light this candle for Tom and Joanne Wetmore
and the beautiful Wetmore family, descendants that have gone. Angela and Rocco Romano, my parents. Josephine and John Romano, my grandparents. And Antoinette and Sam Spada, my grandparents who grew me up. And my dear friends, Joan Bauer, Betsy Normand, and all the others.
This is for my dad, Jim Bauer.
This is for 3 different women, my 2 grandmothers, Helen Spring and Alice Walsh Frank, and also for the Reverend at my college, Kathleen Buckley.
I light this candle for my father, Richard Bailey, my mother, Paige Panchita Wadley Bailey, and for my dear beloved Eleanor Ott.
We hold all of these beloveds in our hearts, now and always.
Having lived long in time.
Let us join our hearts and our minds now in a time of meditation and prayer. I invite you to settle in and to notice the quality of your breath in this moment, to notice what and whom you are holding on your heart this morning. In this quiet moment, I invite you to offer your attention, your love, and your care to these sources of joy and gratitude, or of concern and sorrow. And I lift up in this time of prayer and concern all of those in our country and well beyond who have been the victims of violence and harm in these past days. Let us hold with tenderness the community of Lewiston, Maine, and all around who are grieving inconceivable loss that has become all too common. And extending compassion for all that we are holding in our hearts. I want to remind you that we have a lay pastoral caregiver assigned each Sunday to be available to talk with any of you who might like a listening ear for whatever is on your heart. And this morning, our lay pastoral caregiver is Mary Jane Olson. Thank you, Mary Jane, who will be available in the sanctuary after today's service. I invite you to join me in a spirit of prayer. Spirit of life, unfolding mystery whose truth is never fully grasped. Source of love connecting us all. With hearts open wide, we rest now in your quiet embrace. As we name aloud those who have gone before us, as we sit in quiet stillness alongside these companions, we are aware of the fragility of life. We know that even with our strength and resilience and durability, we are also tender and breakable, and our time upon this earth is brief. Each life has its own fullness, its complex intermingling of triumphs and happiness and of sadness, perhaps even despair. And each life eventually comes to an end. Spirit of unending compassion and grace, we are indeed fragile beings. In our fragility, help us to know how and by whom we are held with love and care. Help us to extend our compassion to others, and with these connections, may we know ourselves strengthened. May each of us be an embodiment of love through all of our days, in this delicate turning of living, breathing, and dying. May peace find us again and again, even here, even now. And let us join in a time of quiet meditation together. And you are again invited to come forward to share names and light candles for those you are remembering today. You've got a mighty wind. I have a mighty wind. Is it blowing? Blowing, I can't wait.
This is for Brett Oakes.
This candle is for Ben Williams, sometime member of this congregation and a member of my writing group, who just died this past week. Father, husband, new grandfather, writer, educator, adventurer, naturalist. He will be sorely missed.
I light this candle for my parents, Elaine and Stanley Fitch, and for Sally Marshall.
This candle is for my wife's mother, Donna Rancourt.
This candle is for my parents, Elizabeth and John Fox, and my Aunt Jean Fox.
This candle is my memorial for Dick Jenny of this congregation and for Dan Boynton from the First Parish Congregation in Lincoln, Massachusetts.
This candle is for our firstborn daughter, Christina, who taught us so much about life.
And we also are lighting a candle for my brother, Don Peters.
This candle is for you, Jessica.
This candle is for my grandparents, Gladys and Selden Dodge, Mildred and Sidney Morse.
This candle is for my parents, Benjamin Russell Franklin, my mother, Kate Hall Rebecca Chadwick Franklin, and my brother, Peter Russell Franklin.
This candle is for my father, Kimberly Jeannie, and my mother, Margarita Swenson.
This candle is for my sister and my cousin Jenna, who fought the good fight against Parkinson's, and she died last Saturday on Cape Cod.
For my son, Dylan Thomas Worth.
We hold all of these beloveds in our hearts, now and always.
And you are invited one final time to come forward to share names and light a candle for anyone you are remembering today.
This candle is for a very good friend, Rusty Smith. What a spunky little gal she was. And for my parents, Madeline and Jack Evans.
I'm lighting this candle for my parents who passed away so long ago.
This candle is for the 4,000 children who have died this month, because they are in my heart.
This candle is for Judith Dutton Blackmer Ladd, my grandmother, and for Juan Rosales, Joan's grandfather.
Knowing that Sally is busy with the children downstairs, I just wanted to light a candle for David, her husband.
For the wealth of people in this church who have enriched my life immeasurably.
This candle is for my parents, Barbara and Donald Watt, and my brother, Andrew, who passed 2 weeks ago.
This candle is for the grandmother I never knew, Annie Bacon, and for my other grandmother that shared our home, Mamie Aldridge.
This candle is for Blanche Adamski, who passed away earlier this week. She was a beloved teacher at Union Elementary School, known as Mrs. A.
This candle is for my brother-in-law, John Reynolds, and my nephew, Joshua Reynolds.
This candle is for my stepmother, Joanne Vetrano, my mother-in-law, Connie Scott, and my neighbor, Chip Swanson.
This candle is for my oldest brother, John Lowy Latz, who has been missing for 45 years.
This candle is for my uncle David Etnier, who died in May.
I light this candle in memory of all of our family and friends who have gone before us, especially my dear friend Marge Trouts and her husband Otto, my dear friend Alan Mackey and his wife Helen, Carly Stevens McLaughlin's son Taylor McLaughlin, and my uncle and my dear friend in motherhood, Judith Blank. Thank you.
I light this candle for all those in Israel and Gaza and Ukraine.
I light a candle for all of those who have been named and remembered by those joining on our live stream and all of those being held in the silence of our hearts this morning.
The following members and friends of the Unitarian Church of Montpelier have not been mentioned but are remembered respectfully today. If you know someone whose name should be added to the list for future years, please let Reverend Joan know. Thank you. Linda Abbott, Dorothy Ahern, Carol Allen, Cosette Allen, Jim Ashley, Carlene Bagnall, Charlie Ballantyne, Greg Belcher, Muriel Bianchi, Henry Bissix, Judson Blakely, Eleanor Booth, Nancy Bradford Papathan, Barbara Bull, Nellie Burchard, Ludo Burritt, Jean Kate, Wes Kate, Deborah Charrington, Lou Cherry, Grace Clark, Betty Cleveland, Laura Cooley, Sandy Cooper, Dan Crawford, Alan Crew.
Rose Crowley, Jane Sakovitz-Dale, Betty Davis, Forrest Davis, Lucy Duke, Doris Edson, David Ellerson, Roy Stephen Emmerich, Les Falk, Tom Fennell, Marguerite Ferris, Ron Ferry, Sylvia Ferry, Douglas Fitzpatrick, Samuel Fitzpatrick, the Reverend Gerald Fitzpatrick, Jifka Fitzpatrick, Dorothy Gare, Ken Gare, Jim Grundy, Bob Hamilton,
Luke Hammer, Hope Harkness.
Paul Hartman, Josephine Hill, Georgina Hurd, John Hurd, Bob Jackman, Christina Jackman, Charlotte Carr, Jerusha Keene, Dorman B.E. Kent, Kurt Keeve, Lily Keeve, Ruth Lovold, Ruth Marcutt, John McGinnis, Tim Mink, Peter Meyer, Paul Montour, Reverend Joseph Nerad, Karen Olschlager, Catherine Orr, Bill Orr, Alex Parr, Sarah Payne, Irene Peterson, Viola Peterson, Gloria Rathbone.
Lori Raymond, Mark Richards, Ted Richards, Lois Richardson, Nina Rocklin, Mary Jane Sexton, Bob Schaefer, Nancy Sherman, Carolyn Silsby, Peter Slayton, Ron Slayton, Debbie Tate, Liston Tatum, Sally Holden Thompson, John Unger, Amy Wales, Eleanor Warren, Elmer Warren, Seward Weber, Lorna Williams, John Wires, Leah Wood, Thelma Yeaton. We bring our ritual of naming and candle lighting to a close, holding close the love and the memories that have been brought forth by naming these dearly departed. May we honor their place as ancestors and guides for the journey ahead. I invite us to now join in our closing hymn, which is Dona Nobis Pacem, number 388 in the gray hymnal. We will sing it once through in unison and then in parts as a round, and you can look to Dell and Bob to know when to come in for your part.
Oh
we close our service, we extinguish our chalice and carry with us its flame of truth, the warmth of community, and the spark of hope into the days and the week ahead. And as we do so, I invite you to join in saying our mission statement. We welcome all as we build a loving community to nurture each person's spiritual journey, serve human need, and protect the earth, our home. And these words of benediction are by John Morgan. In the end, it won't matter how much we have, but how generously we have given. It won't matter how much we know, but rather how well we live. And it won't matter how much we believe, but how deeply we love. And we conclude our service with the postlude.
My latest sun is sinking fast, my race is nearly run. My strongest trials